Yo, what's good everybody out there on YouTube? This is your man Shadicstick, dropping some Hot Firaga on this mic. Today I'm going to give you my impressions of Dissidia NT. This video is not really scripted, but I have notes and stuff here written down so that I can convey my opinions. So sorry if sometimes I've seen kind of out of it, or sometimes it seems kind of convoluted or mixed up. I just didn't write a straight script for this, so please enjoy. Shout out to the boy John Minase for allowing me to use his music in this video. One of his songs will be used in this video. I'll be using other songs. I hope this isn't a change y'all dislike from other series, or just other songs in general that, you know, I believe are good. So first, let's talk about the gameplay. The gameplay is great with a wide selection of characters you can use in the beta. You get to experience a multitude of playstyles because of this, and this 3v3 style of Dissidia NT really does attract me. While at first I was turned off a little by it, I feel like this is a great way to push the series forward, especially considering how, you know, you have different things such as the rock paper scissors system that's been implemented. It really does make for really fun gameplay. Like you basically have these three character types: Vanguard stronger than Assassins, Marksman's better than Vanguards, and Assassins are better than Marksmen. And I just think that's really cool. But let me talk about, you know, some of these changes that have been added outside of just this 3v3 and this rock paper scissors system. The first thing is the EX being different. The EX gauge and summon are separate gauges, and you do multiple EX attacks, you know, based on the direction you press the analog stick and, you know, triangle. And there's no actual like ultimate move like how you had with your EX attacks or your EX attack in previous Dissidia games. You know, you can tell this has been rebuilt from the ground up to work especially with 3v3s in mind. I really do like this change in terms of the 3v3s, because if we had the game working like it previously did, I think it just would have fundamentally been broken, not been fun. But this is extremely fun. I'm enjoying Dissidia NT. Bravery and EX skills, you know, like I said, EX skills also work differently now. Bravery move, my bad, I meant to say HP skills, not EX skills, but HP skills. Bravery moves are static. You can't really change them. You know, you have one HP move per match, and you have to change that before battle. You know, it's not like, oh, you set this up and it's you know, right before you go in you have like all this stuff you can change. No, you have that one HP move, and you have those 4 bravery attacks that you cannot change at all. And I at first I was turned off by this again, but you see how it works well, and you just can't complain. It works extremely well. Like I said, it's not like this game has been watered down. It's been rebuilt from the ground up, and just fundamentally is somewhat of a different game. Like, it feels like Dissidia, but it's so far off from what the previous games were. One example is in the summons. You know, summons in this game, you know, they somewhat work like the other games. They give you stat boosts or whatever, but you don't really benefit like you did from the other ones. These are more minor, whereas the other ones were massive. Like if I remember correctly, in Dissidia Duodecim, if you had Carbuncle, you basically pooped on whoever you were fighting. So you don't have skills like that, and here they basically boost individual stats, give you an edge in certain situations or other situations, and they work really well. Another thing is you don't meet special conditions like you did with the previous you know, Dissidias with summons. In this game, you essentially charge it up, and people can attack you while you're charging to summon up your summon. Like, you do an incantation, you stop wherever you are, whether it be mid-air, air in the ground, and, you know, whoever's on your team charging it up, everybody can charge it up at the same time, speed up the gauge. But for the most part, you're sitting there and you're open to be attacked. So people can stop you from summoning, and I really like how this team dynamic is just being implemented within the game, and it's working extremely well. Sorry, I hit my mic. But they really do implement this team system in a way that I didn't think could have been done with Dissidia. After, you know, my gameplay thoughts, which I think the gameplay is extremely well, it's really fun. It's a nice change of pace from the previous games. Let's just talk about the online system itself. I won't be talking about story, etc. In here, because I feel like that's something I would save for like a review of the game, which I do plan on reviewing the game. But let's talk about online and just the matchmaking stuff. Matchmaking is really quick when you have a group. Let me explain. So basically, when you're on your own, it can take anywhere from 30 seconds to 4 minutes to get into a match. Like, I legitimately sat there and waited almost 5 minutes to get into a match, and I was getting irritated because it was taking so long. While most of my matches, you know, it only took about 30-40 seconds, sometimes 2 minutes, there were some that took me about 5 minutes to get into, which I find kind of unacceptable. I feel like they should have implemented 1v1s in the beta, you know, to, you know, not discourage that, but to eliminate that issue so people can still play the game. But still, it's what it is. This is the beta. Hopefully they fix it by the time the actual game comes out. Now let's talk about, you know, something that everybody is going to be wondering, and that's lag. Lag in this game can really ruin your experience. Like, the game is phenomenal. It's over the top. I really like it. I feel like it's gonna get like 8 and 9s out of 10s when it comes out. But the major drawback in the online environment for Dissidia NT is the, you know, just how the game handles lag. So it doesn't roll back. It doesn't make one person who's specifically experiencing lag just lag. Everybody in the lobby lags. Now, I don't know if this is because of the way the netcode works or if it's hard to, you know, work around trying to find a fix for this, but when one person lags in the game, the entire lobby lags. It's not like just one person experienced the lag, and I think it's because, you know, you switch between people, etc, etc. But you can be sitting there in a lobby, and then, you know, if one person is lagging, say for instance on the other team, and it's just only one person, everybody else has perfect connection, etc, etc, that one person could cause everybody's game to be choppy. I actually had the game freeze on me when I was playing with my friends. It just wasn't, you know, something that I liked, and you know, I hope nobody likes that, you know, obviously, but it was something that kind of left a bad taste in my mouth, if I wanted to say that. Like I said, most of the time the game runs fine, and even when it's lag, you experience like small amounts of lag, it's not bad. Like, the game will chop up here and there sometimes, but it really doesn't detract too much from the experience. But when there's a major amount of lag, that's when the game just gets, you know, unplayable. It becomes legitimately unplayable. But outside of this, just the way the online functions for the most part is pretty decent. Like I said, when everything's running fine, it is buttery smooth, and, you know, you enjoy your experience. You enjoy playing with your friends. You enjoy playing online against other people. It's really just something to, you know, to enjoy. But when it lags, it really does lag for the most part. And outside of this, I really want to say they should add some quality of life things, like being able to cancel the character you choose. Because once you choose the character, even if, you know, you haven't gotten in the game or anything like that, you know, you can't change. There's nothing you can do. At that point, you have to wait till the game starts. I wish you know, if you had chosen a character that you didn't want to on accident or something like that, that you could go back and change that. That would really just help the players and help people who play in the game. That's just some quality of life stuff that I think they should be able to, because like I said, you just locked out until the, you know, the match you get into ends. And on top of that, you can't back out once, you know, you've been put into a lobby. So once the game recognizes that you've been put into a lobby, or you're about to be put into a lobby, you cannot back out. You have to go through with the entire match. And the thing Dissidia does is, if you leave a match during the match, say for instance you got to go do something, so you have to back out. You can't do that. But once you get into the match or whatever, you know, if you leave the match, like say for instance you quit out of it via the PlayStation Home menu, your internet goes out, your power goes out, you lose rank and you get penalized for it. And I don't have a problem with that. That prevents rage quitting, but you should be able to let people leave the match beforehand if they, you know, actually need to leave. Now, the last thing I wanted to touch up on this was the graphics, because graphics do matter. You know, while people, you know, will argue that graphics don't matter at all, they do matter. Do they matter as much as gameplay? No, they do not, but they still do matter to a heavy degree, because you wouldn't have bought an HD TV if graphics didn't matter, would you? You wouldn't have bought that nice $10,000 PC if I'm just making up stuff, but you understand what I mean. You wouldn't have upgraded to the next console generation had there not been the incentive of graphics, etc., etc. But the game is pretty holy crap, especially for a fighting game in 2018. A lot of fighting games in recent years, such as King of Fighters, Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, and Justice, they just don't look good. They really do not look good, and I really have to commend Square Enix for making this game look amazing. There are games out there that look beautiful. Guilty Gear, I would say Blaze Blue to a degree. You know, those games look amazing, yes, but that's not every single fighting game out there. A large portion of them are now coming out and they're looking like unfinished, rushed messes. And that's really all I have to say on Dissidia NT for the PlayStation 4. It's really a fun experience. One thing I did like was that I was able to change between the arcade HUD and the, Dissidia NT HUD specifically made for PS4. I personally use the arcade HUD because I really like the way it looks. A lot of people didn't like the way that it looked beforehand, but I like it personally. People thought, oh, it was too much information on the screen. I love the way it looks. I love the way it's implemented in the game. I like that you have options with this game. In terms of controls, the controls are fine. They're just different from the previous games. Like I said before, there was a lot changed from this game because they rebuilt it from the ground up. Alright guys, tell me how you felt about Dissidia NT, if you got to play it, or if you're planning on buying it. I hope you guys buy it because it really is a fun game. It's really interesting. And I like to see fighting games that are outside of the normal traditional 2D fighters. Well guys, this has been your man Shadicstick. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Share this video out with your friends, and we're out of here. Peace. Kiss, kiss.
It's too late now, 'cause I'm growing old, but I need you to deal with my soul.